Hello and welcome. My name's Metamonen, and today we are broadcasting round one of both the Xfinity series and the NASCAR Sunday series. So let's get right into the live scenes where the drivers are currently getting into the lobby. So tonight, coming up, we've got round one of the Xfinity and the NASCAR Sunday series. So it's a double header tonight, and obviously live from 4:40 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is just ticked over then. So we'll go on to the next slide. So here's our round one details. Just got to keep in mind that the track we are racing at tonight for both the Xfinity and NASCAR series is Daytona International Speedway. So for the Xfinity series, they'll have a 5-minute qualifying session with a 25-lap race, including a mandatory pit stop to be served as well. That can be served at any time. And the NASCAR series, slightly longer, but the qualifying is the same with a 5-minute qualifying session. But the race is a 37-lap race with a mandatory pit stop. So there's a bit of a distance differences there due to the top-end speeds of these cars. So we sort of try equal it out. So here is the circuit the drivers will be contending on tonight. Daytona International Speedway, 4 turns. And it's fair to say it's going to be a very fast-flowing track, and staying in the draft is going to be pivotal to bring home overall success. So, got to make sure if the front guys are pitting in, you pit in with them so you can stay in the slipstream. So, we shouldn't be too far off getting into this lobby. We can pretty much start this off pretty much as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I'm not the host, just to try something different, because unfortunately for Psycho, he's getting a bit of connection issues here, so hopefully he can join. So we are due to start in less than 3 minutes now. So I'll just let them know that they can start whenever. So just bear with me here. Alright, there we go. Should be ready to go for this Xfinity series. This is Div 2 of the 2 divisions we've got up tonight. So, as for the top 4 drivers in this series, they'll be able to get promoted into Div 1. And as for the bottom 4 in Div 1, the NASCAR series, they will be relegated back to Division 2. So, there is definitely a lot to play for in this league. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the driver spotters up tonight, but that will be up next coming Sunday when we've got all confirmed liveries done and dusted. And then I'll have it on that bottom slider, as you see down in the bottom right there with the leaderboard slider there. So we shouldn't be too far off going the green lights as everyone's starting to ready up now. We've got a 14-car grid. It's 2 off 16, but it's going to be a ripper. So this is round one of the Xfinity Sunday series. This is Div 2. It's live and free on Metamon Twitch and YouTube. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a friggin' ripper. So we got a 5-minute qualifying session coming up. So there is your track details there. 4.02 kilometres. That's not miles, that's kilometres. Here in Australia, we use the kilometre metric. And then it's got 4 turns, obviously, so basically just turn left. That's all you have to do. It's all that's required around this circuit. But to be competitive around this circuit, you must stay right in the draft, right behind someone. If not, you can fall at least a second down per lap, and that is quite substantial when the laps tick over and tick over. You're almost a lap down towards the end of the race, so got to make sure that you stay in behind someone to be able to maintain that top pace that is required to win the race tonight. We've also adopted the NASCAR point structure and the playoff series. So the first 4 rounds is the normal season. After the first 4 rounds, we'll have the top 8 drivers step up into the playoffs. If you win a race, you automatically advance to the next round. And you get bonus points for race wins, for the fastest qualifying lap, and the fastest race lap. So bonus points for them is 5 bonus points for a race win, 1 bonus point for fastest race lap, and 1 bonus point for the fastest qualifying lap. Got to keep in mind those bonus points are only added to the playoff drivers. So that is how we organise the playoff standings there. So everyone's got to get out on track pretty much straight away. And Pepe has already been gifted a 1 grid place penalty as he's went over the instructed line at some point. See a couple cones knocked over at the exit of pit lane there. So this trackside view is quite a weird one, but hopefully we can bear with it. Need be, we'll go on board Kiilstofte so we can see all the action unfold. So here we go. We're currently on board with Aussie here. He's got someone in behind him. It's either Morningstar Mike or Exo. So those two guys are driving the teammate cars in the number 42 and the number 43. So by the looks of it, these guys are working together. Wait and see what sort of lap times they can produce towards the end of this 5-minute qualifying session. So we've still got 2 drivers parked up in pit lane in Dennis and Someone Awesome. So we've got a few Div 1 drivers in this lobby as well to get a bit more practice, even though we're not driving the Ford Mustang GT4 in Div 1. We are driving the Ford Fusion NASCARs. This is a car coming out on track now, and that's going to cause absolute carnage here. That's Chopper, Aussie Chopper, is having to make evasive action now, unfortunately, and he's had to have brought out that lap. So here we go. Psycho is in the lobby. Hopefully his internet connection holds on, because we've had a few issues earlier on in the practice sessions that we had. So currently it is Team Spiegel on provisional pole with a 51 flat. So he set the fastest time so far, and he's got quite a healthy lead in 1.5 seconds. So Pepe only recorded a 52.4, and he's got a bit of side-by-side motion going on there. So he's having to get a little bit of a side draft, and it seemed to have worked for him because he's going to get past there. But he's not going to have the favoured inside line as he tries to move into the inside line there. So he's cleared the driver behind him. So awesome stuff. Good awareness from Pepe. So is this going to be an improvement for him? So 1.4 seconds off the pace of provisional pole. He must improve. So there we go. He's half a second off the fastest time. He's got a 51.5. And that's Rojo there in P3 with a 53.1. But he's been pipped by Black Wildcats, who's moved up in the P3 with a 51.8. And that's Team Little Bear in P4 with a 52.4. So awesome time from those guys. But they've got to get ticking. They've got to get in the draft if they're to improve at least 1 second on their quickest time. We got Exo in P5. He's recorded a 52 flat. So he's starting to get faster and faster. Then we got Dennis in P6. He's recorded a respectful lap time there in a 52.1. So all these times in the mid-pack here from 5th to 8th, they're only separated by 3 tenths. But no doubt those times are going to diminish towards the end of this session. So we're currently on board with Team Little Bear here as he tries to negotiate traffic up ahead. He's going to go across control line now, and that moves him up into P3. Awesome lap there. He's only half a second off provisional pole. Pepe, he goes quicker as well. He's recorded a 151.06, so he's only 6/100ths off the pole position time set by Team Spiegel here. So he set an awesome lap time earlier on. I don't think that's going to be challenged at this stage. So we got 27 seconds left in this qualifying session. That's Rojo in P5, so he's putting on quite a fine qualifying performance here. And Someone Awesome, he was the Season 2 Sunday Series champion. He's currently all the way back in P6, and you've got a couple of cars riding behind him. He might be giving them a draft, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to reach his top end speed if he had the draft. So he's going to be really hindered this lap, and I don't think it's going to improve as he moves up to the high line there. It's been a little bit of side-by-side contact there. So we've got Exo there. He's in this pack as well in P7. I reckon he is looking to improve here because he has been in the draft that whole entire lap. So they're about to cross control line now. Is there going to be an improvement here? There was an improvement. Pepe going P1 with a 50.9. He's pipped Team Little Bear, or Team Spiegel rather, by 8/100ths. This is really close. In the closing stages, we're currently finishing qualifying now, so we've got 30 seconds left in this session. So the guys that are parked up in pit lane or cross control line officially done and dusted. I've got to quickly get the screenshot here. So it'll actually be Team Spiegel with the pole position, as Pepe's been, well, I wouldn't say gifted a 2-grid place penalty, but penalised with a 2-grid place penalty. So that's going to be a lot of work from P3. But at least he's in the draft, so it might be a strategy play there. But unfortunately, he will not get the bonus point for pole position, as he was relegated back to P3. That will be gifted to Team Spiegel. And we will have a rolling start. This is fully customisable setups. The weather is clear. We've got a mandatory pit stop as well. The drivers can pit in whenever suits them. So realistically, you'd pit in when the lead guys pit in, so you can stay in the draft. That's the only way you're going to win the race. Because if you're not in the draft of another driver, your lap times are going to be a second slower every lap. And you think about it, 25 laps, you've lost 25 seconds if you pit in lap 1, and that's basically half a lap. So you've got to make sure that you pit in when those front guys pit in. So here we go. We are about to start round 1 of the Xfinity Sunday Series. This is Div 2 of the 2 divisions that we have up and coming tonight. So next up will be the NASCAR Sunday Series. That is Div 1. And we've got a 16-car grid for that as far as I'm aware. So this is going to be a ripper. Don't go anywhere. We've got 2 lots of racing coming right up. So it's all to play for in the first round. If you win this race, you advance to the playoffs, which start in round 5. You'll also be gifted 5 bonus points for a race win. So basically, if we have 4 different winners in the first round, we'll have 4 different drivers securing their playoff spot before round 5. So here we go. They're in the rolling start now. It's going to be Team Spiegel leading the way, and it's Dennis Marino's on the outside there on the front row. So here we go. We go green here at Daytona International Speedway. We've got a car already off in the background there, so losing out in the draft there by the looks of it. So it's Team Spiegel who's going to lead after turn 1. No, it's Dennis on the outside now. He's slowly getting the lead up there. So we might actually have to go chase view, because these trackside views are sort of not what we want. So this is Dennis trying to chase down Team Spiegel up ahead. And then we got a little bit of contact between Team Little Bear there. He's off into the infield of the track. He's going to have to make sure he doesn't rejoin. There we go. So a little bit of contact back there. Unfortunate scenes for Team Little Bear. We're currently on board with Psycho. He's currently sitting P4. We've got a 5-car train here. We're going 3 wide. About to end the first lap here. It's Pepe on the inside. He's going to take the lead after lap 1. So we've got a 5-car battle here. And that's Morningstar Mike sending it down the inside as well. He's trying to move up in the P3. And he does. It relegates Dennis back in the P4. And Exo's up in the P5 as well. So let's see, P7, Black Wildcats. There's a little bit of a gap between him and P6. Rojo, Psycho, Lord, Team Spiegel. We got a little bit of contact here. These drivers are pretty much done and dusted. Team Spiegel is stuck in the track. He cannot get out. So his race looks to be done and dusted. He's going to blow his engine. A little bit of a bump draft behind from Pepe on Dennis there. And it's Exo moving up in the P2. Pepe's made a mistake and he's off in the infield. Relegated back to P7. We got more contact. Morningstar Mike involved. So the top 5. Also Southern Awesome involved. Black Wildcats, he's in P4 after that little bit of a situation back there. So it's the top 3. Dennis, Exo, and Dave Odoza. He's moved up a few positions here. Good performance on the opening 2 laps. We've got a lap car up ahead. So these guys really going to have to be cautious once they get past. So Davo, he's got a draft here. He's got to run on the guys in front. And pretty much 8th to 10th, they're all in pit lane to serve their mandatory pit stop plus get repairs. So obviously not a scheduled mandatory pit stop for them. So they're going to have to shake up the cards here as they go a lap down. So Davo's going to do it on the outside of Exo, and that's a wonderful move. No, that's a lap car. Sorry about that. So Exo's the car up ahead. These three are bumper to bumper, and we still got Team Spiegel stuck in the track there. That is definitely a glitch, and I really apologise for that. So currently it's the top three, separated by half a second here. We might actually get on board trackside view as we go down the back straight now. So these three still bumper to bumper. It's a 3-car race for the lead. We're only on lap 4. We still got 21 to go. And Aussie and Peppy, they're still in pit lane, getting repairs to their vehicles. They're about to go 2 laps down. So it's highly unlikely we'll see them challenge for the race win here at Daytona. Someone awesome, he's almost 2 laps down as well. So I might actually have to go on board with someone awesome. He's only just on the 1 lap down section. So Morningstar Mike is in front of him by 25 seconds there. So he's starting to catch up his lost time to the guys in front. We've got Psycho in P7 there. He's still on the lead lap. We've got Lord on the lead lap as well in P6. And he looks to be drifting off in the pit lane now. So strategy play here. He's braking well and truly before the pit limiter line. So he's playing it safe there. It's Rojo in P5. Black Wildcats in P4. He's 8 seconds down from the lead of this thing. So if the top 3 guys have a little bit of a tangle, that will be the only way he'll be right in this battle. So it's Dennis who leads over Exo, and it's Davo in P3. And we got a lap car behind them as well. So we got a 4-car train here, and we're on lap 6 of 25. So Black Wildcats, he's come in the pit lane now. He's serving his mandatory pit stop as well as Ward. So he's still in pit lane. Those guys will come out, hopefully, on the lead lap. So here we go. Is Exo trying to send it down the inside? No, he wants to stay in behind. He wants to stay in the draft there. He's not going to make a move until the closing laps of this race. You do not want to be leading this one on the last lap because you will be suffered top end speed wise. You must be the car behind if you're to win this thing. So here we go. We got another car in behind there as well. So we've got a lap car putting it up wide. That might be someone awesome. No, it's not. He's about to get lapped here. So that's the car of Aussie by the looks of it. Or Peppy. No, that's Peppy. And we've got another lap car as well. As these guys battle it out down the back straight. And that's Peppy making side-by-side contact there. Who was that between? I think Davo, he lost out there. He had that side-by-side contact with Peppy, and he's lost the draft now. He has lost his top-end speed, and he's drifting further away from the lead of this race. 1.7 seconds now. He's lost a lot of time after that contact. So it's a 2-car race. Right now, it's Dennis who leads over Exo. Exo looking for a race win here. We're on lap 8 of 25. These two have been bumper to bumper since race 1. And we got a car on a smooth in the first corner. And Exo, he had to make evasive action there. He's lucky to get out of that. But it's really favoured Dennis because now he's got a 1.4 second lead of the race. So that was a lap car tangle there. And unfortunately, Davo's still going further back as the laps go on now because he is not in the draft of anyone. He must catch up to the car in front in Exo if he's to help himself and Exo out to reach the lead of this race. We've got Rojo in P4 there. So he's 20 seconds off the lead of this one. And I'm not sure if he's pitted in. I don't think he has. Then we got Psycho on P5. So he's cracking up a good performance so far. We've got Black Wildcats. He's in P6, the first of the pit stoppers. And he's currently looking to get in the draft of Psycho ahead. So he's got a very good situation for himself, starting to heat up as well. So he might be able to gain that lost time if Psycho is fast enough in the process. And we've got Team Little Bear. He was well and truly in the mix for a race win in the early stages. But a few lots of contact has caused him all the way to be relegated all the way back to P7. And he is almost a lap down. But in matter of fact, he's actually a lap down, I reckon. Morningstar Mike also involved in early carnage in P8. Someone awesome as well. So pretty much everyone from 7th to 12th were all involved in early race carnage. And they're trying to recover lost ground. So all they can do is salvage the best points they can in round 1 here for the Xfinity Sunday Series. So Exo's got the lead of this thing. What's happened to Dennis? So I reckon Dennis has drifted in the pit lane by the looks of it. So he's coming out into P4, and that Exo's in the lead of this one now. So he's starting to help out Davo as well. He's 1.4 seconds off Exo in the lead of this thing. So these guys will be looking to pit in soon as well. I reckon Exo, he might make the decision to do so this lap. Wait and see. He's not drifting off, so he's still going to go one more time around, and he's going to enter lap 11 of lap 25 here at Daytona. So Exo's last lap was a 52.6. Last lap for Dennis was a 1:12.7, so no doubt, I'm pretty sure he's made a pit stop, and that's why we see him in P4. Psycho, he's still in P5. He's looking to gain that lost ground on the leaders. He's currently 7 seconds off, or 8 seconds off Dennis here. He's got a bit of lap traffic ahead. That's definitely not the car of Peppy. That's the car of Someone Awesome. So Someone Awesome is a lap car, unfortunately, because he was involved in that early carnage. So we go back to the front where it's Exo, who still holds a very narrow lead in 1 second over Davo. And he's drifting off into pit lane now by the looks of it. And Davo's going to go right past him. So bit of a mistake there, strategy-wise, from Davo, I reckon. He's going to have to get right in the draft of someone, and there's no one in front of him, so he's not able to do so. So Davo, he's drifted on ahead, and he's still got to come in for his mandatory pit stop in the closing stages of this one. So currently, Exo and Rojo, they both drifted off in the pit lane. So where is this going to put Dennis in all this? Because he's got the top end speed now. Surely he's going to get past Exo. I'll have to get Chase view up because I cannot view where Exo is in pit lane. He's only just exiting now. So he is going to lose the position to Dennis. And he's going to have a relatively easy gap between himself and Exo, Dennis. So looking highly likely at this stage that Dennis will win this one if he's pitted in. And that's Davo coming in as well. So he's drifting off into his pit box now. So we'll get back to trackside view. We'll go on board with Dennis. He's down the back straight now. And Davo is in the back end of pit lane. So he's still got pretty much the whole pit transit to go. And it's Dennis with the top end speed. He's currently clicking around 260, 270 kilometres an hour. I'll actually get the speedo up. So, yep, 270 kilometres an hour around the last corner. And he should be able to reach at least 280 kilometres as we head into turn 1. So, Dennis, is he going to get the position? Davo's coming out of pit lane now. But Dennis is going to get it on the outside. He's got it done. So, Davo, he's been relegated back to P2. You can see that gap starting to expand out now as well. So, the gap is around 2 seconds as Davo, he's not up the top end speed yet, so he's going to lose a bit of ground between himself and Dennis. Currently Psycho sitting P3, but he has not made his mandatory pit stop yet, but still a very good performance from him so far. And he's challenging P2 for Davo here, so Davo is the car ahead of him. He had to negotiate lap traffic there, so very good awareness from the lap traffic. So currently it is a 2-car race for the lead of this one. We're on lap 14 of 25. The laps are starting to tick down. We're start to enter the closing stages of this one. And up next, we have got round 1 of the NASCAR Sunday Series. It's Div 1 of the 2 divisions we have tonight. And then after that, we have the Pagnian GT3 Series hosted by Race on Oz to start at 7:55 Australian Eastern Standard Time. So don't go anywhere for that either. That is round 3 of their series at Race on Oz, and that will be hosted at Monza. They got 2 sprint races set up for us tonight, and I'm really looking forward to that one as well. It's going to be a ripper. So currently it's Dennis who leads over Psycho, because Davo has lost the position to Psycho, and by the looks of it, he's really under pressure from Exo. This is the battle for P3 currently, but realistically the battle for P2. As they go side by side, crossing the control line. Exo's trying to make a move everywhere around the track. He's trying to do it around the outside. He's trying to do it around the inside. But it's Davo who's holding on to P3 here. He's doing quite a fine job to hold off a charging Exo on lap 15. Because Exo is right in the draft now as we go down the back straight. Davo's trying to hold the inside line. And that's forcing Exo to go out wide, but he's trying to make a move on the inside, but he's not able to do so. Doesn't have to overlap. He's just going to have to hold ground here. We've got a bit of lap traffic there. I think that's someone awesome there. So very good sportsmanship and awareness from him to get out of the way of the lead guys. Now Psycho, he's about to catch up to the back end of Dennis here. It's 4 tenths in it now. This is the lead of the race here. But as for Psycho, he hasn't pitted in by the looks of it. He's got a bit of front end damage as well. So, aero-wise, he's also suffering. So, he's currently in the lead of this thing. So, I'm not sure what's happened to Dennis. He's had to slow down right out of it, unfortunately. So, currently, it's still a 2-car battle at the front. And in the background, you can see Davo and Exo fighting it out for P3. Then we got Rojo on P5, but he's 17 seconds down from the lead of the race. We got lap traffic up ahead as well. So lap traffic, putting it out wide, doesn't have to let out the throttle completely. We got side-by-side contact there. Lucky not to have an accident there. So very good driver skill from all these guys. As Dennis tries to send it around the outside, but he's got lap traffic on the outside lane. He looks to be getting in the draft. He's trying to slingshot his way through this. He's trying to go to mid lane, but he's got to be able to create the space, and there is none. Because that's Psycho going off into the mid lane there. So we're currently on lap 17 of 25. These guys aren't really quitting. They're going all out here in round 1. As for the winner, they will advance to the playoffs. So everything to play for in this race. This is championship stuff here. This is going to determine who will be the first driver to advance to the playoffs, as we have adopted the NASCAR playoffs and point system. So here we go. It's Dennis still in P2. So Psycho leading this one. Now, can I actually see the pit stops made? No, I cannot. So we got a few 10-second time penalty here. So Exo's been copped with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane. Also, Rojo has been copped with a 10-second time penalty. And Southern Awesome. So that's very unfortunate for those guys. So those 3 guys all copped with time penalty for speeding in pit lane. So back to the lead of this race. It's Psycho leads over Dennis. Exo and P3 currently on track. But he has a 10-second time penalty. So, by the looks of it, he might end up in the P4 after everything unfolds. So, we're about to enter lap 19 of 25 here at Daytona. And it's Psycho who's got a narrow lead over Dennis. We might actually have to go on board with Rojo as he's getting the pressure applied from Black Wildcats behind. Black Wildcats is right behind the rear bumper now. Down the back straight we go. No, down the main straight now. And that's going to be Black Wildcats getting the position there up in the P5 before the control line as those two enter lap 19. So let's go further down the grid, see if we have more battle packs going on here. But by the looks of it, we do not. We'll go to the battle for P3. It's Davo who's leading over Psycho. So Psycho's drifted off in the pit lane. No, he's made a mistake. Psycho's made a mistake. And he's off in the dirt there. I've got to see the track map. Yeah, he's definitely made a mistake. And as for the Team Spiegel, I will offer points for him, because that's just an unfortunate scenario there. Getting the car stuck in the track and not able to get out of the same position. So I will offer points for him, because that is unfortunate circumstances. And I hope all the guys agree with me with that decision as well. So currently, Exo, he's only 2/10 off the lead of this race, but he's got a 10-second time penalty. So he must get past Davo. But he must also extend that lead to 10 seconds, and it's not looking likely for him. But he's right. So Dennis has left the session, unfortunately. I'm not sure what's happened to him. So currently, it's Davo who's leading this one. And he is a rookie tonight as well. So he might be able to pull off his first race win in the Sunday Series in Div 2 Xfinity. So currently we're on lap 21 of 25. We've got 4 laps remaining here. This is the battle for P3 between Black Wildcats and Rojo. And as for Rojo, he's got a 10-second time penalty as well. So unfortunately, he's fighting for position on track, but he's got a 10-second time penalty. And unfortunately, even if he gets in front of Black Wildcats, he's going to be relegated back to P4 anyway. Maybe even back to P5 as Team Little Bear, he's really catching up to the back pack here on the back of Rojo because he's only 9 seconds down from him. So, Morningstar Mike in P6 as well. Someone Awesome in P7. We got Psycho in P8 after that mistake made a couple of laps ago. He's got severe amounts of damage there. We got Aussie in P11. He's in a pack of 4 cars here. Pepe, he's tracking well in P10. He's just trying to circulate the laps to try and get a good points haul. And then we got Lord rounding out the 11 car grid as it stands. So back to the front where it's Davo who leads over Exo by less than a tenth of a second. He's taking the inside line here. It's a 4-car train here. We've got a couple lap cars involved in this as well. So Exo's trying to make the move down on the inside lane, but he cannot. There's not enough room. He's going to have to hold it right in behind the rear bumper, and he's got pressure being applied from lap cars behind as well. So he's going to play it cautious here, Exo. He does not want to screw it up. As it stands, he will get P2. So currently lap 23 of 25. 3 laps to go here at Daytona for the Xfinity Series Round 1. The race winner will advance to the playoffs. They'll also get 5 bonus points as well. That will be added to their playoff count. So here we go. Down the back straight we go for the 23rd time. And it's Exo. He's trying to make moves everywhere on this track, but he can't. There's not enough room anywhere. Davo's doing the best he can to make his car as wide as possible. He's doing an awesome job here. His last lap was a 51 flat. Exo's was a 50.8. And that is in favour of the draft as well. And that is why he's slightly quicker. So lap 24 and 25 as the laps tick down. And we've got a battle going on still between Black Wildcats and Rojo. We've got Team Little Bear. He's starting to get beyond that 10 seconds required to make up a position here. So we might have to settle for P5 because he looks to have a little bit of damage on the front bonnet. We've got Morningstar Mike in P6. Someone Awesome in P7. We've got Psycho in P8. Aussie in P9. Pepe rounding out the top 10. And we got Lord in P11 there. So back to the front. As we're about to enter the final lap of round 1 here for the Xfinity Sunday Series. It's a 4-car train here. We got 2 on the lead lap and 2 a few laps down at least. So here we go. We're on the final lap. Can Exo win this thing on track? We'll wait and see as they go around turn 1 and turn 2. About to enter the back straight now. And it's bumper to bumper from these 4 guys. Exo, he's trying to make the move on the inside, but Davo, he's trying to hold the inside lane. He's making his car as wide as possible as they enter the last 2 corners at Daytona. And Davo's going to win this one. He's going to come across the line in P1. Even if he doesn't, he's still going to finish P1. And he is going to go straight into the playoffs in round 5. Exo's trying to send it down the inside as they go side by side across the line. And Exo's going to win it on track. Exo's won it on track, but he's been relegated back to P2. because he has a 10-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane. So he'd be very happy for winning it on track. Unfortunately, not good enough as he sped in pit lane a little bit, and Black Wildcats is going to come home in P3. Wait and see how Rojo holds up here, and he looks like he is going to hold P4. Team Little Bear will come home in P5. Morningstar Mike looking to come home in P6. Someone Awesome coming home in P7. He's carrying a lot of damage on his vehicle there. Psycho, he's finished in P8. Aussie in P9. Peppy in P10. Lord in P11. And that is the race done and dusted as I take the screenshots here. So hopefully they do not advance as I try to get these screenshots. And unfortunately a DQ from Nacho sees him finish in P12. So we'll be back to the NASCAR Sunday series in half an hour time. In between then, have a break, but don't go anywhere. We've got more action coming up in the NASCAR Sunday series in half an hour time. So I'll send you guys back to the waiting screen where we will be awaiting the next division in the NASCAR Sunday series round 1 at Daytona International. So I'll set up the timing there. you've only just tuned in, my name is Metamonin, and right now we're about to go into broadcast round 1 of the NASCAR Sunday Series. So let's get to the live scenes where the drivers are out in a 5-minute practice session. After this will be a 5-minute qualifying session, and then we'll have a 37 lap race. So here is what's to come. So previous Xfinity series was about 10 minutes ago. That's when it finished. And we are back to broadcast the NASCAR Sunday Series. This is Div 1 of Div 2. And we'll go to the next slide. Round 1 event details for NASCAR. So 5-minute qualifying session. And right after that is a 37 lap race with a mandatory pit stop. And all weather in this event is clear in spring conditions. And here is the track the drivers are racing on tonight. Once again, Daytona International Speedway. So 4 turns, all left corners. So basically, just got to try stay in the slipstream of the car in front, and you should be able to set consistent laps that is required to win the race. So as I mentioned in the last race for the Xfinity series, guys, it's best to pit in once the leaders have started to pit in, so you can stay right in behind that draft. So you don't actually lose at least 1 second a lap in comparison to what you could with the draft. So the drivers have got to be cautious of how they play their mandatory pit stops. So it's going to be a huge consideration determining where they are on track. So that will determine their overall strategy. So the splits aren't really useful in this really, because the splits are that close that you don't know if they're going to just get over or just miss out. So we'll keep the splits a bit secret until they cross the line. And we'll see the movement up in the standings. So currently we've got less than 3 minutes in this practice session here. We're currently on board with Aussie. He's come from Div 2, and then the Div 2 winner, Davo, he's also in this one as well. So these two having a crack in the top tier series here at the Sunday leagues that I host as part of the Metamonin racing community. So currently it's racer 24 who's currently leading this one with a 45.9, and he's also new tonight, and he will be making his debut in the Div 1 series. So he's currently on for a quicker time than what he's had. So he's well and truly right in the draft behind these guys. So if you look in the stay there, he's got Ty Morgo up ahead in that green-looking car there in the number 3. Bit of side-by-side contact as Ty Morgo set out wide into the wall there. So I've also got the driver spotter on the standing slider as well. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to do that for Xfinity, but that should be done by next week. And you should be able to know where your favourite driver is on track. So there we go, racer 24. He doesn't improve there. We've gone board with Pepe. He had quite a disastrous Xfinity round, to be quite honest, because he got caught up in a bit of early contact. Not saying it was his fault, but it was very unfortunate. Wrong place at the wrong time. Saw him all the way down in P10, if I can recall correctly. So currently he's setting quite fast laps here in Div 1. So 46.1 is what he sees himself on. Currently sitting in P2. So he's driving the 45 Ford Fusion there. So we're going with the Ford Fusion NASCARs as well for Div 1. So there's a bit of a speed difference, no doubt, as the guys can actually reach speeds of 320 kilometres an hour heading into Turn 1 if they're in the draft. See a cone fly there as that's been hit out onto the track. Now, I'm not sure who's in the number 50 car, but he's trying to go down the inside. I think that I might actually have to get my driver spotter up for my reference. Just bear with me here. So number 50, that's Nachos. And a bit of contact with Pepe. He's hit the outside wall at turn 3. He's having to go on the inside line, and the car's clipped him as well. And that was racer 24 who clipped him. So he's not able to improve here. He's currently provisional pole. Even though it's practice, we'll still class it as provisional pole here. Unfortunately, Davo has disconnected here. So I'm not sure what happened there. So Pepe's had the return at pit lane. Egwin, he's setting some pretty fast laps as well. 46-2 there, season in P3. The reigning champ, Brennickles, he's getting a lot of pressure applied behind him. He's currently sitting P4 with a 46-2. So those times in the top 5, they're only separated by less than half a second. This is very close stuff here at the start of this practice session. So side by side. Now who's that? On the outside of Brennickles. I'll try to get that car up on screen. I think that is Morningstar Mike on the outside in the 46 car. And that is, so Morningstar Mike, he's currently sitting P5. So those times are really starting to diminish now between the guys. So it's starting to become very more competitive now. Someone awesome, only sitting P11, he's in pit lane. We've got XO in P12. He came P2 in the Xfinity series. That was a very good result from him, and he'll be looking to continue those podium finishing ways here in the NASCAR series. So I wish him all the best. As far as I know, he was on steering wheel. Right, I don't need to take a screenshot there, so we'll go straight into qualifying here for round 1 of the NASCAR Sunday series. So this is Div 1 of the Div 2 lobbies that we have. So we have heaps of drivers that can actually fill 2 lobbies. So very good stuff from the guys to put on a big turnout for round 1. And hopefully this continues into next week as well. So this is a 8-round series. I won't go through the full details. I've got the next week track up on screen once we finish this stream. So we'll keep it a secret. The drivers know what the tracks are. But we'll keep everyone as a spectator on their toes. So it's going to be a very busy track as we enter this 5-minute qualifying session. You can see everyone starting to react early. So here we go. We're on board with Rooney. Currently he's on an outlap. He's in number 77 Ford Fusion. So quite a good looking green-blue car there. And he's going into the inside line down the back straight. So I reckon he's trying to get the slipstream here. So he's doing just that. He's starting to speed up now. We'll get track map and speedo up. So currently he's only clicking 270 kilometers an hour at this stage. So he's going to have to get up to top end speed reasonably quick as he's about to cross control line now to start his hot lap. So here we go. He should be able to hit 310 clicks heading into turn 1. So a bit shy of that by 2. So here we go. He's not in the draft of anyone, so this will be a good indication of what sort of lap times we're going to have without the draft. So I'm very curious to see what sort of lap time we can produce from this time around. So Ty Morgo goes provisional pole of a 45.8, and it's Austral in P2 with a 46.6. And then Black Wildcats with a 47.3, as well as Titan with a 47.3 as well. And we've got Eagle Wind with a 47.5. 47.5 from someone else, I'm not sure. But here's the times are ticking over. And Rooney, he's put himself up into P8. And that's Racer 21. He's put himself up in the P4. He's a rookie tonight. And he's looking quite fine at this stage in P5. Pepe going up in the P4 with a 47.1. So it's Ty Morgo with quite a healthy lead at the top, 45.8. And that's Davo rejoining the lobby as well. So he's just made it in time, but he's really going to be pushing it to set a hot lap here. And he might have to start this thing from the rear. We'll wait and see. As I reckon Blue X are 8, Davo. And someone awesome. They're all staying in the pits. So it looks like they're all going to start from the back of the grid. Exo, he's currently sitting P15. He's the only one out on track not to have recorded a hot lap yet. And he's about to cross control line now as he exits turn 4. This is going to be for him. He had a very good performance last round. That's only good enough for 12. So a 48.5 from Exo. But he's still got at least 2 more opportunities to further improve that time. Pepe is further improved this time with a 46.7. And he remains in P3. Eaglewind also improving with a 46.8. As well as Titan, 46.8 as well. And they're replicated between Eaglewind and Titan. So by the looks of it, Eagle to set that time first, and that's why we see him in P4. The Titan over the line now goes into P2 from 46.3. He's still almost half a second down from provisional pole, which is currently held by Ty Morgo. As for the reigning champ, Brennicles. He's only just coming out on track by looks of it. No, he's not. But he's down on his time. He's trying to get a little bit of a side draft here between Titan. He's just slotting it right into the rear bumper of Titan now. Trying to get a bump draft, I reckon. No. He's just trying to follow in as close as possible. But he's only 4 attempts down, so we might see him go quicker next time around, because this lap seems to be done and dusted for him. Pepe's been relegated back to P5 now, as well as Eagle Wind in P6. We've got Racer 24 in P7. Good qualifying performance so far. Then we've got Nachos in P8, as he's about to cross the control line now. He's got Ty Morgo in behind him. And Nachos goes P2 with a 46.3. But it's still Ty Morgo with quite a hefty margin in hand. That is going to be a very hard time to challenge for pole. And we'll go back down. Morningstar Mike's in P9. Rooney in P10. And we've got Black Wildcats in P11 there. Aussie in P12. XO in P13. Davo's come out on track. He's currently P14. Someone awesome. Still choosing to stay in pit lane. And unfortunately, Blue XR8, he's only got one shot at it. So this is his only attempt. We'll stay on board with him as the seconds tick down in this qualifying session. So it's still Ty Morgo who leads this one at the top with almost half a second advantage over the rest of the field. So he really timed this run at the right time, that's for sure. So Blue XR8 is about to cross control line now. He's just exited turn 4. What's this going to be for him? So someone awesome. He's going to start this from the back. And Blue XR8 is only going to go P15. So both those guys starting on the back row. So there are your qualifying results now. Right into the lobby. So it's Ty Morgo who gets the first pole position for round 1 of the NASCAR Sunday Series. Then it's Nacho on the front row alongside Ty Morgo. That's an awesome qualifying performance from him. Look to see him challenge for the podium tonight. Then it's Titan, the first on the second row in P3. Alongside him is the reigning champ in Brennicles. He's looking to defend his crown in the NASCAR Sunday Series. We'll wait and see if we have a new challenger arise to the occasion. No doubt, with the quality drivers we got on the grid, it's going to be extremely hard for him to replicate championship victory as he had last season. Then it's Austral starting this race in P5. Alongside him is Pepe. That rounds out the third row. Row 4, we have Racer 24. Very good qualifying performance from him. Alongside him is Eaglewind in P8. And then in the 5th row, we got Aussie. He's joining us from Div 2 in the Xfinity Series. And he's sharing the 5th row with Morningstar Mike. He's looking to get a better result this time around as well. Then we got Rooney, who starts in 11th, starting off row 6. And we got Black Wildcats alongside him. Davo, he was the winner in the Xfinity Series round 1. And as a result, he gets the invitation to join us in Div 1 tonight. So good luck to him. And in P14, we've got EXO. He finished P2 in the Xfinity race. So 2 of the podium finishers starting on the same row. And we've got Blue XR8 and Someone Awesome. Both championship contenders in this one, starting at the back of the grid. I reckon it's a strategic play there as they try to stay out of the mid-pack. Because as we saw last race, the mid-pack is where you didn't want to be. There was a lot of contact earlier on that forced a lot of people out of the race earlier on. So here we go. We're about to go green here at Daytona International Speedway for round 1 of the NASCAR Sunday Series. And as usual, it's live and free on Metaboning's YouTube and Twitch. And now let's go green here at Daytona. So we go back to the front and seeing Nachos has got a good launch off the start. He's going to have it on the outside though. But Ty Morgo, he's going to have the inside line heading in the turn 1. And he should be able to hold on the P1 as well. We've got a car up in the background there. And that, by the looks of it, is Someone Awesome. EXO's been relegated to P15 as well. Blue XR8, he's up 1. So Ty Morgo, he's leading this one, but down the inside goes Nachos, down the back straight now. A bit of side-by-side draft here as Nachos gets into the lead of the race. After half of the first lap, he's going to have the inside line heading into turn 1. And then there's Titan in P3, Brennicles reigning champion P4, and Peppy round out the top 5. We've got a 4-car train for the lead of the race here. So that is the conclusion of lap 1 here. Ty Morgo, he's been pipped off the line by Nachos halfway through lap 1. It's Nachos who leads this one. After lap 1, heading to lap 2 now. It seems as though we've got a disconnection. I'll get the map and Speedo up on screen as Aussie and So and Awesome have come in the pit lane. Did those guys make contact? I've got to have a look. Bear with me here. Yep, they made contact. So and Awesome, second race in a row. He's been caught up in carnage. So very unfortunate scenes there for him. It's Nacho still leading this one. And he's really trying to challenge for the race win tonight. We got a 5-car train here. We got Nachos, we got Ty Morgo, we got Peppy in P3, we got Austral in P4, and Eagle Wind round out the top 5. And then in the background in the 77 car is Rooney. Brennicles, the reigning champ, has lost a lot of ground. He sees himself all the way back in P7 now. So here we go. We got a 5-car battle here as we're about to go 4 wide. No, 2 wide. And Ty Morgo is trying to do it on the outside. But it's going to be Nachos with the inside line. He's going to get a little bit of a bump draft from the car behind. As Peppy and Austral try to fight for position as well. And I think that's Peppy trying to send that down the inside of Ty Morgo. He's got a good overlap there. And he should be able to make the move heading into turn 1. As he tries to make the move on Nachos as well. And that's Ty Morgo glitching out there. He's been relegated back to P6 now, P4 now, P5. So we've got Racer 24, Black Wildcats, Morningstar Mike and Aussie all in pit lane. Now that's for someone awesome. Where is he? I think he has either retired. So by the looks of it, yeah, someone awesome is retired, unfortunately. And we got contact between Nachos and a few of the top contenders. It's absolute carnage here on lap 4. Rooney gets out alive, Peppy gets out alive, Eaglewing gets out. Titan also escapes the carnage, as well as the reigning champ Brennicles. Ty Morgo, he's about to rejoin the track from that carnage. You can see the amount of damage he has on his front bonnet there. Austral's also involved. Exo's up in the P9 now. Nachos, he's lost a lot of ground. He's off in the infield. That's very unfortunate scenes. He was leading this race on this lap and he stuffed it up down the back straight and he's lost his bonnet there. He's trying to limp back to pit lane as Austral and Ty Morgo tore pit lane for an unscheduled pit stop. So it's Peppy who leads this one. After coming P10 in the Xfinity series, he's looking forward to getting at least on the podium in this one. He's got quite a healthy lead as well. 1.5 seconds is his advantage over Eaglewind. And Eaglewind, he's currently getting the pressure applied from Rooney and Tight behind. Those guys all separated by less than half a second. And then we also have Brennicles in the picture as well. So Eaglewind on the outside here. And Titan's just nudged him up to the top end of the track. So Eaglewind's been relegated all the way back to P5. We got contact. Titan's off. Titan and Eaglewind by the looks of it. No. Someone else was off. Who was that car? That seemed to have been Austral. He is disconnected. Unfortunate scenes there for Austral. Morningstar Mike has left the session. So back to the lead this one is Rooney who leads over Brennicles now. So what has happened to Peppy because he's been relegated back to P3. So it's a 3-car train for the lead of this one. We could also include Eaglewind in this battle as well. So Nachos, he's still in pit lane. So the top 7 guys all on the lead lap here. So Rooney sends the car up wide, and Brennicles is going to get the overlap on the inside, and Pepe should follow in behind Brennicles. Those two are going to make up a position as they go near the infield across the control line. And Rooney's trying to hold the outside line. Is Pepe going to get past him? They go side by side as we enter turn 1 and turn 2. We got side by side contact there between Pepe and Rooney. Rooney was hit into the outside wall there, and that invites Eagle Wind up in the P3. Rooney has lost his top end speed now. He's got to get into the right mindset once again. It's going to take a few laps for him to do so. There's Titan in P5 there. Davo, he's in P6. And we've got EXO in P7. Aussie in P8. Titan will go P9. Black Wildcats in P10. Racer 24 in P11. And Nacho's in P12. And he's still in pit lane because he had severe amounts of damage on his car. So we're on lap 9 of 37. And Pepe has the lead of this one now, but he's on the outside line. Brennicles should hold on the inside. And Pepe's hit the outside wall. And he's going to lose a lot of time because of that. Now Eagle Wind, he has the opportunity to move up in the P1 now. Right on the rear bumper of Brennicles, the reigning champ now is Eagle Wind. These two are separated by less than 0.3 of a second. So we enter the back straight now. We're about to enter lap 10 of 37. These guys still haven't made their mandatory pit stops, but they will do so soon, no doubt. So once the first guy reacts, no doubt the next one will react as soon as possible as well. You can see Pepe, he's lost a lot of ground. He still sits in P3. But this is the battle for the lead between Brennicles and Eagle Wind. So the same structure as the Xfinity series. The winner will advance to the first round of the playoffs. So the top 8 drivers after round 4 will be the playoff contending drivers. Now if we have 4 different race winners in the opening 4 rounds, we'll have 4 different drivers secure their spots via a race win. There's Eagle Wind's right on the rear bumper as we're about to enter lap 11. Can Brennicles hold him off heading into turn 1? He's trying to hold the inside line here. Now Eagle Wind, he's going to look to go to higher line. No, he's going to stay in behind as Brennicles tries to take the mid lane as well. So Eagle Wind, he's going to have to try and make a move in the next 2 laps or so if he wants the prestige of choosing when to pit in. You can see Pepe starting to catch up a little bit at a time in the last few laps or so because he's well and truly in the picture now. He's only 3.2 seconds off the lead. Eagle Wind sends it down the inside as Brennicles goes up in the wide line. And Eagle Wind, he's going to go up in the P1. And now Brennicles, he's on the attack. We see someone drift off in the pit lane. That's Pepe, so a very good strategy play there. Hopefully he comes out with a car in front. So back to the lead this one. Eagle Wind leading over Brennicles, the reigning champ. And it's separated by less than 0.2 of a second now. Down the back straight we go on lap 12. So here we go. We might actually go on board with Brennicles' cockpit view. And he'll take you around a lap at Daytona. So here we go. I'll shut up in the time being. You can really see on board cockpit view how much the car is struggling to keep grip around the corners here. He's bouncing around everywhere. His drivers are barely able to hold on to the car around the corners at Daytona. He's got to try keep as much grip to the track as possible. And that's where car setup comes into play as well. As Brennicles, he's trying to remain in the slipstream here. And that's Titan. By the looks of it, he has made his pit stop. So currently he is a lap down. Exo, he's only just on the lead lap. As who's that trying to draft him? It might be Racer 24 there, drafting... No, I'm not sure who that is. As Rooney comes off in the pit lane now. So it's Egerwind who still leads this one. We've got a 3-car train here. Titan, as far as I know, he's made a pit stop. So realistically, he is on the lead lap. And he's trying to hold on to it as well. He's right in behind these lead guys. And he's really going to be benefiting from this. We've got a couple more cars up ahead as well. So it's Egerwind who still leads this one over the reigning champ. And as for the reigning champ, he has a lot of opportunities to start where he left off in round 1 of the NASCAR Sunday Series here. It's all or nothing here. The driver who wins this one will advance to the playoffs. As we see Tom Morgo come out of pit lane once again, I reckon. No, that was the car of Rooney. So Rooney, where's Rooney? There he is. So he's in the number 77 Ford Fusion. So we go back to the lead where it's separated by less than a tenth of a second. And Egerwind really under pressure from Brennicles, but Brennicles is on the high line now. Titan also trying to go up high, but he's hit the outside wall. He's lost a lot of speed. Now what's going to happen here? I thought one of them was going to fake each other here. So you can see the lap times are really starting to die off now. 1.2 seconds off their fastest lap. So we're on lap 17 of 37. So the guys are really struggling on those set of tyres now. Exo, he's coming to serve his mandatory pit stop. And that's still Egerwind who leads this one over Brennicles. Unfortunately, we got no more battle packs going on around the track. This is where the battle for the lead of the race is at, as Brennicles tries to take the high line. And they're both coming off in the pit lane. Good move for Brennicles to follow Egerwind in. So these guys got to be careful. Because we had 3 guys penalised for speeding in pit lane in the Xfinity series. So there we go. So Davo, he moves up in the P1 after the lead guys come in for their pit stops. So he'll be looking to come in very soon as well. So we'll stay on board with him for the time being. And Titan, he should be catching up as well. And actually might hit up Titan. He's on the back straight now. But he's not going to be up far enough to even make an attack on the front 2 guys in Egerwind and Brennicles. And Brennicles, he's got out in front of Egerwind out of pit lane. So this is race winning stuff here. So what did Egerwind choose to go for a set of tyres? I'm not sure. Because he sees himself 3 seconds, almost 3 seconds away from Brennicles now. You only just saw him in the picture there. He's got a huge lead in front of Egerwind. But it's Davo who leads this one. The Xfinity race winner. He's currently leading this one in Div 1. He's on the back straight now and he's on lap 19 of 37. So if the 2 guys in Brennicles and Egerwind tangle at some point, it will invite Titan into the picture as well. Because he's not far off this pack. He's 7 seconds off Egerwind, so not too far away. And with a little bit of help from lap cars, he should be able to get that time back. We've got Aussie in P5, Exo in P6, but he's got no one in front of him, so he does not have the benefit of the draft. We've got Black Wildcats in the same scenario. He's got a car ahead, but looking a bit too far ahead to be in the draft. So, and we've got Ty Morgo, currently in P8. And he's a couple laps down now, unfortunately. And we've got Racer 24 in P9, Rooney in P10. And Nachos, he was leading this one for 3 laps until we had a little bit of contact from the guys that were battling with him. And he sees himself all the way back in P11. And as for the guys that have either retired or got disconnected, they're really going to have to win the races to be able to advance to the playoffs. As for Brennicles, he's got the provisional lead over Eagerwind. Eagerwind, he's not too far behind now. It's about a second in it. So Eagerwind is really catching up now as Davo has drifted off in the pit lane. So that gives the lead of this race to Brennicles. And Eagerwind will move up in the P2. And Titan might actually move up in the P3 now. And he does. Then Aussie, he looks to also be in the picture, but he's a lap down. But he's given the draft to Titan there, who's on the lead lap. So top 4 drivers all on the lead lap. And then Aussie is the first of the lap cars. And we've got EXO also a lap down in P6. We've got Black Wildcats in P7. Ty Morgo there in P8, and he's got a lot of damage there. He'll be really struggling with the stability of that car. Race 24, he had a very good qualifying performance, but he's all the way back in P9. So he's just looking to circulate laps to get a good points haul. We've got Rooney in P10 and Nachos in P11. So as of now, your playoff scenario is the top 8. Brennicles with the lead this one has an automatic advance to the playoffs as it stands. And P2 all the way to P8 currently getting in on points. So we see Nachos getting a little bit unsettled at the exit of turn 4 there. He's only on lap 15 of 37, so he was in pit lane for a very long time. And the leaders of this race are on lap 23. So he's about 8 laps down here. So now Eagerwind is really caught up to the rear bumper of Brennicles. What can the reigning champ do? Is Eagerwind going to be the new threat to Brennicles in Season 4, the NASCAR Sunday Series? He's trying to make a move down the inside, but he's not up far enough. He's just going to follow in behind the slipstream now as we enter section corners 3 and 4. Eagerwind, he's trying to send it down the inside, but still not up far enough once again. So you can see they're really suffering in terms of lap times now. 8 tenths of a second slower than their quickest. So we're on lap 24 of 37 here at Daytona. And that's a 2-car race for the lead. Still got a lot of laps to go. So this is anyone's battle here. And Titan, he's also in the background there. He's getting a little bit of a helping hand from a few cars around him. So he might be able to play himself into a winning position as well. So we'll go on board with Eagerwind in cockpit view. We're going to see how close these guys actually race against one another. Got a bit of lap traffic up ahead as well. So that's Brennicles trying to break the slipstream down the back straight. By the looks of it, it's a little successful move there from him, as he has to go the wide line here. And this really might invite Eagerwind up into the lead of this thing. That's the 50 car of Nachos. So he's got out of the way there. So it's Brennicles who leads this one by less than 3 tenths. Eagerwind, he's got a good run on the main straight now. Heading into turn 1, he's gaining a lot of time. We've got Black Wildcats drifting off in the pit lane now. Now right on the rear bumper is Eagle Wind on Brennicles. He might be able to make a move heading into turn 3 on lap 26. He's trying to look, but Eagle Wind is really been given the defensive manoeuvres from Brennicles, making his car as wide as possible. Ty Morgo goes up in the P7. Now Eagle Wind still right on the rear bumper now. We'll go back to Brennicles. We'll go back to trackside view as well. Those guys are still battling it out for P1 here. These two are pros, looking good. Awesome to see you in the chat, Nige. Hope you're enjoying this action here for the NASCAR Sunday Series. Looking forward to broadcasting round 3 of the Packaging GT3 Series that you contend in, mate. So good luck in that, and I'll see you then, mate. You've done a brilliant job. So still right on the rear bumper is Eagle Wind. It's not many opportunities that he has been given. So he's just trying to stay right in behind Brennicles, so on the last lap of the race he can make his all-out attack to win this thing. So everyone has made their mandatory pit stop, so it's a race to the end for everyone. It's a matter of who will cross the control line first out of these two. Being bumper to bumper, less than a tenth of a second away from each other as we enter turns 3 and 4 for the 28th time. So I really commend the efforts from these two to drive extremely quick and extremely close to one another without wrecking each other. This is awesome stuff from these guys. And Eagle Wind, he's trying to go on the outside line, but he doesn't have an overlap. He's going to have to go back to the bottom line now. As Brennicles goes out to the mid lane, he's trying to switch it up a bit due to a lap car up ahead. And that is EXO in P5 there. So Ty Morgo, he's moved up in the P6 as well. And Brennicles, he's trying to move into the inside lane. And Eagle Wind trying to follow the train as well. So it's very hard to make a move anywhere on this circuit when you go on speeds of 320 kilometers an hour. And as for Brennicles, he's really holding off the pressure from Eagle Wind. He's keeping a cool head, and that's very good to see from the reigning champ. There's a lot of experience between these two. Unfortunately, Eagle Wind wasn't with us in last season, so he's essentially a rookie to this series as well. And he's really shown his worth as a championship contender in the early stages of this season. And Eagle Wind, he's made a mistake. He's hit the outside wall and now he's a second down from the lead. That sort of stuff determines the outcome of the race there, so he hopes he hasn't lost too much time. We've only got 6 laps to go now, so does he have enough laps to be able to catch up to that gap? He's got a car in front of him of EXO. He's got to hope EXO records quick lap times here so he can slingshot his way past. And he's doing just that on the back straight. So he's starting to catch up that lost time. He's chipped in about a tenth of a second down the back straight. But he's got no car in front of him now, so it's all the work's going to be done on his own now. So we've still got 11 cars on track. So here we go. We're entering lap 32 of 37. This is crunch time in round 1 of the NASCAR Sunday Series here. And it's Brennicles with quite a healthy lead at the top. Now, can you actually see Eagle Wind in the background? There you can. So he's caught up at least half a second last lap. So he's starting to make up that ground. He's within a second now. So as for the winner, they'll advance to the playoffs and they'll have a chance to contend for the championship title. And that will be a good opening account for Brennicles if he can win this one. Coming in as the reigning champ, he's looking to defend his crown. And Eaglewin's right on the rear bumper now. He's only half a second down. So Brennicles really suffering on those set of tyres there. Because just in a click of a moment, Eaglewin is right back in this now. He's less than 0.3 of a second down as we enter turn 3 and 4. Down the back straight, you can see Titan in the background there. He's 5.4 seconds away from the lead. And now they are bumper to bumper as we enter turn 4. Trying to go on the inside line if he can. Eaglewin, no, he has to go to the outside. But that's not the line to go for. The inside line is the most preferred because that's where the most grip is at the moment. That inside line is really working for Brennicles. But it's not working for Eaglewin. He's trying to take a completely different approach. And he's trying to go to the outside lane now. Brennicles at the inside lane heading into turn 3. Now Eaglewin, he's trying to slingshot his way past down the back straight. But not enough momentum. So he has to stick it right in behind for the 34th time. We're about to enter lap 35 of 37. So we got 3 laps to go here.
I have to go around that way to get here.
And these guys are bumper to bumper. Almost less than 1/10 of a second in it. So here we go, lap 35. It's all or nothing for Eaglewin now. He must make a move in these closing 3 laps. Unfortunately, we got no more battle packs fighting for position. So we got to view the battle for the lead as Eaglewin tries to look to the outside lane. He's trying to take a completely different approach as the laps are continuing to tick down. So Brennicles is trying to hold off a charging Eaglewin with 2 laps to go. Can Eaglewin pull it off? Their time's almost replicated last lap. But it's a 2/100th advantage in favour of Brennicles. And Eaglewin, he's trying to send it down on the inside lane as we head into the back straight now. Now he's on the outside lane. Does he have an overlap? No, he does not have an overlap. So 1 1/4 laps to go here at Daytona for round 1 of the NASCAR Sunday Series. It's looking very unlikely for Eaglewin, but very likely for Brennicles to advance to the playoffs if he can keep a cool head on the final lap. White flag is out. Last time around here at Daytona. Now Eaglewin, he's going to go for anything that is available to him. He's going to have to take a risk at least. As they go on the back straight for the last time. Eaglewin's trying to go around the outside again. And he's going to do it. He's got up in the P1. But Brennicles is going to have the inside lane. Can he hold off? Brennicles might be able to hold off. He's regained the lead as we enter exit the last corner now. Side by side to the control line. And it's going to be Eaglewin who's going to win, is it? It is. Eaglewin by 3/100ths of a second has come out as the race winner in round 1. And he will advance to the playoffs in round 5. So the reigning champ pipped across the line by barely nothing. Titan will come home in P3. Good performance from him. Davo, the winner from the Xfinity series, is going to come home in P4. Awesome effort from him. Exo, he's come home in P5. Ty Morgo in P6. We've got Racer 24 in P7. We've got Rooney in P8. Black Wildcats in P9. Aussie in P10. And Nachos rounding out the 11 cars that are left on the grid. We will offer points to the rest that turned up. But as for those guys, they must win if they're to make the playoffs. So Eagerwind comes out. So it was 5/100ths of a second there in favour of Eagerwind. That was an awesome battle on the last lap. And he took absolutely every risk he needed to. So awesome effort from Eagerwind to come out victorious over the reigning champ. So we'll get to next week's screen. We'll give you an indication of what's to come. Just got to find it. Here we go. So next week, it will be round 2 for both the Xfinity and NASCAR Sunday Series. And it will be at a road course in Watkins Glen Short. So we're not going oval racing this time around. And that will be live from 4:40 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So for now, and in between then, we've still got a few more live streams during the week. But in an hour's time, we've got